Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abby and today we're doing another experiment. So I have another root rot issue. The last one was the variegated Adansonii, as you saw. Didn't go well. I basically thought I had cut all the rot off and then let it callus over and then seal it with wax and then basically put it back in water, and it didn't work. I think it actually just escalated the rot. So I have lots and lots and lots of advice on the back of that video. So when the Albo Monstera, which I got from the same seller, the rot didn't come from the seller. I think it's the shipment of it and the stress, and with aerial roots apparently they tend to be a bit finicky. It has started to rot and I do have a lot of advice. So I've literally taken your advice. I've got some hydrogen peroxide. It's 3%. It's something someone has suggested. I got this from Amazon for £3.99 and it arrived next day, which was ideal. My situation is, so I'm filming this on, it's the end of June. I go away for 2.5 weeks in 3 or 4 days. So I'm doing this now and hope that like cures it, fixes it, and then I'm gonna come back and hope I have a plant. I have a pig cam for my pigs. I have a camera for my pigs. It was back when we had an unwell piggy and it was really ideal to have when we worked in the office. So I've got that, so I actually might be a bit of a freak and put it next to my pig cam so I can see if it's deteriorating, because I do have someone coming in to water my plants. She's not a massive plant collector lover, so that's a risk, but I think it should be okay. So I'll show you what I'm working with. On the screen here is a picture. This is what it looks like. I noticed in the water propagating that I was doing with it, I noticed a bit of rot at the end. I cut it off, let it callus over, potted it in this really good Grow Tropicals soil, really good. And I've had it next to my desk, next to my computer for a few weeks. It's not been declining at all. However, the little brown patch was getting here. It was getting a little bit worse, which I can understand. It's like the white part. I never expect them to stay perfect forever. So it started declining a little bit, and I was supposed, like, there was no justification for me to look at the roots. Like, it wasn't declining a lot. I was just had a hunch. So I checked the roots out, and then on the screen now, if I haven't already showed you, is the root rot that we had. So what I did was, this is now what I've got. I cut it all the way back. That's completely dried out. And I wonder why that's wet. It's fine. Everyone was like, make sure you get the rot. I don't think I'm going to put that under soil anyway, so I'm just going to leave that. But it is completely dry. It's just a bit wet from something. I think I've just like wiped a surface or something. I don't know. Because this has actually been out now. As you can tell, it looks really limp and tired and like it needs water. It's been out of water or out of soil for a few hours now. And I cut it yesterday and let that dry out fully. So that's why that root looks super dry, because it just is all dried up. This is the good root. And we've still got a lot to work with, so I'm glad it's not like actually here, it's here, but I do think it's got good genes. I think it's one of my favorites, so I really don't want it to die. But basically today we're going to use hydrogen peroxide, which is what everyone has been suggesting I should use. So we're going to use that today, and then I'm going to, I believe the advice is to repot it again. Do that, let it like just sit in hydrogen peroxide for 20 minutes, because this is mixed with water. It's only 3%. So I'm going to let it sit in that. That will fizzle away any bad and good bacteria. The good bacteria will come back, the bad bacteria will die, which is a rot. So that will just kind of hopefully eliminate any kind of like bad ongoings it's got. and then eventually I will pot it back up in this because it's a really good airy mix with some really, really good fertilizer in there, which is currently being recorded in another video as an experiment. So that's what the plan is. So I will check back in with you after I have done this mid-July. We're back on the 15th. Most likely won't get to look at it until the next week, or talk about it until the next week. So it's going to be a good experiment, and I hope it hasn't deteriorated anymore. I think that's a lot of root to work with, and that, like I said, won't be under the soil anymore. I'm just going to go for this one. But yeah, I kind of want to put it in water because I would naturally have this in water and let the roots grow like secondary roots, but I don't know how I feel about that. But I'll tell you what I decide when we come back and check in. I've also just checked back on my footage and I'm really red in the face, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. So basically I have a clean beaker here. This is something we obviously use, but I'm gonna make sure it's cleaned and sterilised before we ever use it again. Obviously, normally I wouldn't want to use something like this, but I don't have any Tupperware on hand. So the idea is to get this in the beaker, which is probably bending. Could have done with a bigger one, but here we go. So that's that in there. And I'm basically going to be using the entire bottle by the looks of it. Oh wow, it actually just smells like, it smells like a nursery. That's how I remember my childhood. Like it, kind of cross between TCP and like antiseptic. And someone did say literally just pour it in. Oh, I'm nervous. She said she just used it because it's only 3% and it's mixed with water. Yeah, it's mixed with water. It's obviously 3%. It's 3% hydrogen peroxide. So this is crazy. Oh my God. That's like the whole bottle gone. Damn, I thought I could use that for something else. And it doesn't quite cover the top root, which is so annoying. I'm going to add some more water to that. Right, so there's water in here. Okay, that's covered it now. Also, sorry if you can hear my pigs. They are having a little argument. So she said, yeah, wait for 20 minutes. So I will be back in 20 minutes. But just so you can see, it's fizzing away, which is good. You want it to fizz. So yeah, fingers crossed this all works out well for me. And yeah, I'm just gonna double check the advice as to what to do with it after, because I'm a bit nervous that I'm really anxious I'm going to go wrong with it, because I really do like it. But I just spent like the last like half an hour like reading through things, watching YouTube videos, so I'm confident, but I just want to triple check.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need.
Hi everyone, so this was going to be a hydrogen peroxide review, but it didn't work for me. I suppose it's still a review, but it didn't work. So I have since come back from holiday. My cutting, if you saw my post-holiday update, didn't look the best, but it didn't look bad and I was hopeful. But then I sent a picture to a friend and she said, it looks a little bit like dry, maybe you want to water it. And I knew something was going on. So I checked out the roots, and bearing in mind, I didn't water propagate it to the point where new roots were growing because it rotted. I just put it straight in soil, really winging it. It didn't like that. and the root rot had gone further up. So I cut it and then put it back in water. It kind of looked like the root was damaged at the base, so that's where the rot had then really gotten up to. Anyway, long story short, it's dying. It's so severely dehydrated. This is the root I had to cut, and you can kind of see it's at this point where it got damaged and it's all mushy. But I'm keeping it in water, you know, I'm keeping it going just in case it miraculously fixes itself. But the rot on the stem is going up as well, and you can see it's yellow at the top. It kind of means like it's like too much for it. But yeah, I think from the beginning this was going to be a goner. It's such a shame because it's so beautiful. Like, I really love it. This leaf has never hardened off, which indicates issues. But yeah, I'm really gutted. I think it's been 5 weeks since I went away, so it's dying slowly. I am enjoying it. Well, kind of getting to enjoy it still. But yeah, unfortunately, the hydrogen peroxide on this occasion, my first occasion, didn't work. But I will try it again if I ever come into something where I'm like, oh, I need to, you know, do something, and hydrogen peroxide could be an answer. I will try it again. I'm actually advised to try that with the mealybug thing I have on my Hoya, so I might do it again and I might keep you updated. But unfortunately, yes, it didn't work for me. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.